Hi everybody and welcome to Yoga with Sarah Trapani. Here's a very brief practice with some hip openers for you. It's a nice well-rounded flow. Just a few minutes. Thanks for joining me. See you on the mat. Let's start in a comfortable cross-legged seat for a brief centering meditation where you arrive nice and tall, rooting through the sitting bones, feeling the length all the way up through that space between the shoulder blades, right up through the crown of the head. And as you wrap your hands in front of the shins, use that little bit of traction and pull to bring the shoulder blades down away from the ears. Take a moment to arrive here in this practice, noticing your breath and setting an intention for today. What do you want to cultivate in this time on your mat? And we'll inhale, sweep the arms forward and up, reaching up, looking up. Exhale, press the hands down through heart center. We're going to squeeze the knees together and then uncross, bring your feet on the floor. And then open your knees into bound angle position, hands in front of the shins, lift up through the chest on the inhale. On the exhale, lengthen forward and walk your fingertips forward. Spread your chest and look forward. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, fold and look toward your tail. Knees are falling open. Inner thighs are rolling forward and down. And then we're going to sit up and we're going to take that right ankle forward, right knee pointing toward the upper right hand corner of your mat. We're going to slide that left leg out so the left knee is in alignment with your hip. And then we're going to turn, flex through both feet and wrap that left hip around toward the right hip and gently turn and then lay your belly over that right thigh, walking the hands over to the right onto the bare floor. So we're letting that left inner knee come all the way down. Peek at your right hip. Press the hands into the ground as you inhale. Exhale, gather the belly in. Walk your hands back up. And then go ahead and slide that left leg a little more back into a pigeon. Left hip point rolling down. Take your forearms down to the floor and look toward your belly. If this is too intense, you could just stay in that variation with both knees kind of bent like they were before and just fold over that right thigh. But if you can, extend that left leg all the way back. Roll the left hip down and rest your brow line on your thumbs. Take a couple moments. Let the left baby toe side of the foot rest. Then start to press through the top of that left foot and walk back up onto your hands. Tuck your left toes and inch your left knee forward. From planting the palms, lift your right knee and step right back into a downward dog and pedal out your feet, lifting one heel at a time. Sending the sitting bones high. And we're going to roll into a plank. Cross your ankles. Gently sit right behind your heels. And take that left heel forward with your left knee pointing toward the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Take your right knee out. So this right leg is a 90-degree angle from the hip to the knee to the heel. Then we're going to turn. You can take your right hand on that right thigh and wrap the right rib toward the left rib and look to the left. Then lift up and fold over that right leg. Coming down. And walk your hands forward onto the floor and look at your left hip. Press your hands away from your hips and breathe into that right side. And we'll inhale and we'll exhale, walk the hands back up. And then start to slide that right leg back, coming into pigeon or whatever variation. Pigeon feels good. We want to have that left foot a little bit flexed. And that left heel can come down in front of the right kind of low belly hip area. So the left calf is in contact with the left hamstring, a pretty deep bend in the left knee. Left sitting bone moves toward the floor. We're going to rest the third eye on the thumbs, prayer hands, drag the brow line, drag the area between the eyebrows down toward the bridge of the nose. And breathe there. Letting your mind linger on the area of the most sensation. Then bringing your focus to the top of your right foot, gather the belly and walk yourself up onto downward dog hands. Tuck your right toes, inch the right knee out slightly, then lift your hips, lift your left knee, and take a step back into downward dog and pedal out the feet. Stretching up through the lower back, dropping the heels down. Then wave into a plank. Gently take your knees wide, big toes touch, hips to heels. Wide-legged child's pose. Soften your chest down. Let your elbows start to rest down. Let your forehead rest. And wag your tail. Let go of gripping in the jaw and the eyes and into the shoulders. When you exhale, imagine the exhale flowing back out through the sitting bones as your pelvis drops toward the toes. And then start to drop your tail, walk your hands toward your knees. And we're going to shift over onto the seat and bring the legs around. Extend your legs out straight. Shoulder blades right on the back. Lift your knees a little bit. Inhale, reach up, look up, and then open the arms out to a T, palms up. And then on your exhale, we're going to come all the way down onto the back. When you arrive on the back, take a few circles with your toes. You can let a nice exhale out your mouth to soften into the floor. Drag your shoulder blades underneath your back. Bring your heels a little closer together. Then hug your right knee in for a squeeze. Traction that right thigh toward the side rib. Breathing there. And then take your right shin in your right hand and open that right leg out into about half of a frog leg, resisting that right shin into the right hand. And press your left hand on top of the left hip to keep the two hip points pretty equal. The right foot is flexed. And then glide that right knee back in, and then slide it open. And just do that a couple times, bringing it in and across the midline, and then sliding it open to that frog. And then back, and then open, and rest the outside edge of that right foot onto the ground. Reach both arms overhead for an inhale. When you exhale, point your right knee toward the ceiling, then slide the right leg out straight. And we're going to hug that left knee in. Kalamukhatasana, nice lower back hip release. Also digestive support pose. Right thigh bone drops. Then we're going to let that left knee fall open into the left hand. Left knee comes out from the hip, so it's like a frog. And we kind of press that left shin into the left hand. And then glide the knee back in and across the midline. The right hand is rooting on the right hip. And then the left knee slides open. And then back to center and a little bit across the midline. And then open. And then back to center. And then open, and let that left foot come to connect with the right inner thigh. Left knee falls open there. Reach your arms overhead, palms up for an inhale. When you exhale, step your left foot right on the ground, then slide that left foot out. Nice full inhale, toes to fingers stretch. When you exhale, we're going to draw both knees in and find happy baby pose, reaching your two first fingers around for the big toes. And open your elbows away from each other as you traction, flexing the feet and bringing the heels down toward the knees. And rocking there. Evening out the hips. You could press your heels a little more out towards straight if that feels good. Don't overdo. Then bring the heels back over the knees. Lift your head, look toward your tail. Bring your knees toward your underarms as you exhale out. Let your head fall back. Release your feet. Bring your feet mat width distance apart and take a few windshield wipers. Imagining a lot of fluidity and openness in your hips that channels up through your spine, right up through the crown. Good. Coming back to center, feet are mat width distance, knees knock in to touch. Rest your hands right on the front of your hips, sending warmth and love to that area. Taking a brief shavasana here in this constructive rest pose. So it's our final meditation. Your lower back is broad, and let the thigh bones rest securely in the hip sockets. So they fall, the thigh bones fall right into the hip sockets securely, and you get that sense of the lower back plugging in toward the floor. Take a moment to connect with your feet on the ground, scanning your body, noticing any areas of tension that you can release and soften. And know that right now in this moment is right where you need to be for just another couple of breaths. And remember your intention for today. Take your hands together in prayer and touch your thumbs to the center of the eyebrows, dragging the brow line down toward your bridge of your nose. Find gratitude for anything at all you have to be grateful for. And then hug your knees in for a very compassionate hug, honoring exactly where you're at right now, everything as it is right now. Take your time to slowly roll to either side, and we'll meet in an upright seat. Making our way up again into a cross-legged upright seat, shoulders right on the back. Take a moment to drop your chin toward your body, thanking yourself for showing up on your mat today. And I am wishing you joy, peace, health, strength, courage, and always trust on the journey. Namaste. And I thank you, as always, for being here, and all the things you can do to support my channel are so appreciated. Liking, sharing, subscribing, spreading the word to friends and family about this channel, and also hitting that super thanks button to support my efforts. It really means a lot to me, and it helps me continue to spread the healing benefits of yoga as far as I can. So I appreciate your part in helping. I'll see you next time. Take care.